have many answers, right? But let me tell you what is a financial freedom. So financial freedom is all about money freedom and time freedom. What is this money freedom and what is this time freedom? Let me tell you the money freedom. Whenever your passive income is more than your expenses, that leads you a money freedom, that gives you freedom from money. When what is this time freedom then? So time freedom, let me give you an example to make you understand this time freedom. Say you are a businessman and you wanted to switch off your phone for a month or a week or a day, or you don't want to go to your business for a day or a week or a month. If you were able to do these things, and still if you don't pick your call, still if you don't attend your responsibilities on a regular basis, if your business is running smoothly, that is time freedom. So financial freedom is not just multiplying your money, it is all about money freedom plus time freedom. So today we are going to talk about money freedom, and I'm not going to tell you complete gnan about money freedom. I'm going to tell you very, very basic secrets which every one of us should know to attain this money freedom. So let's see what are the topics we are going to discuss today. So basics, we'll start from basics: savings versus investment, and why are we not able to save and invest, and what are the basic myths in investing, and very important, 8th wonder of the world. We might have heard 7 wonders of the world, but today we are going to learn 8th wonder of the world and how it is going to help us in getting financial freedom. And there is a scientific proven method where you can know the various steps for becoming a successful investing. And we also wanted to show you a demo how financial needs and goals can be figured out and how can they be planned. And last but not least, we will leave you with words of wisdom after the session. So let's quickly see what are savings, what are investments. If I ask you what are savings, what are investments, every one of you might have your own definitions of savings and investments. But let me quickly tell you savings and investment. Let us take the example of Mr. Ramesh, who started earning his money, and he's earning monthly a lakh rupee. Say if after spending 50,000 rupees onto his daily expenses, if he left out with 50 more thousand, if he kept that money in his almara, that is called savings. Or the same 50,000 can be kept in your savings bank account as well. Or the same 50,000 can be given to your spouse for maintaining the regular expenses, or you can also ask her to save money. If I ask you these 3 questions, what are you going to say? If I give that 50,000 to my wife, I don't know whether I'm able to see that 50,000 in the next month or not. Or if I ask you what will happen to your 50,000 if you keep it in almara, you're going to say it will be the same 50,000 rupees even if I go after 1 year or 10 years. There would be no appreciation in it, right? Same way, if you keep that same 50,000 in your savings bank account, what is it going to give you? It can grow up to a 2.5% to 3% per annum, right? So why are we talking all this stuff? Because savings alone will not be sufficient to make you rich or to become wealthy. So what are we going to do? What are we need to do? We need to invest. As and when you start investing your money will start working for you, which leads to financial freedom, which gives you wealth, which gives you passive income. So let us quickly see when to do saving and when to do investing. And we have been in a mindset that we have been saving money from last few years, or whenever when I've started my career, maybe I've started saving and investing as well. Let us see when to save, when to invest. Before understanding when to save and when to invest, let me give you a small example. One, say you have to visit a grocery store which is in your colony. What are the modes of transportation we use generally? We go by walk, right? The same way, if you have to go to your office, what are you going to use? Either your personal vehicle, like it can be your 2-wheeler or a 4-wheeler, or sometimes you may use the public transportation, right? The same way, if you have to go to vacation, the only options left are with we have flight or a ship to use, right? Likewise, your mode of transportation is changing based on your target and destination. In the similar way, your savings or investment should be dependent on the target, the ultimate need, the financial goal. Based on your goal, you should come to a conclusion whether I need to save this money or whether I need to invest this money. And in further slides, we are going to understand how savings and investments are different. So before that, let me take you to another live example. So this could be a general case with most of us. So whenever we have started our career, we might have seen this situation, or we might have experienced this event. So we used to get a call from our friends or relatives stating that they have taken an agency from an insurance company, or they have started doing mutual fund distribution, and they'll come to you and they'll ask us to start some investment, right? So maybe you might thinking that yes, this was happened to me. Yes, this is the case with most of us in India. So in order to maintain that relationship, we used to sign an application form, or we used to sign investment proposal to start your investments, right? Is that the way to start our professional investment journey, or is that the way to achieve our financial freedom? No, right? Because there we are maintaining a relationship. We are trying to manage that relationship, not managing our financial responsibilities. So from here onwards, whenever you hear such situations, or whenever you are into that situation, you ask the person about a comprehensive financial need analysis. You ask them, is this good for me, or is this good for the manufacturer? So then you are able to figure out, is that a real or a good investment for you or not? So these many years, we know the importance of earning money, saving money, and investing money, right? But many of us face challenges. Though I'm earning a good amount, I'm not able to see any bank balance after a week, or after 10 days, or after in the middle of the month, I have zero balance in my bank account. So this is the case with many of us, right? Why we are not able to save or invest our money? Because we believe in a formula called whatever we earn, and after spending, whatever is left, that has to be saved. Am I right? And can you please use your chat box and say how many of you think this is the right formula? If you think this is the right formula and this is what you learned in these many years, please type S. If you don't think this is the right formula, please type no in your chat box. Can I see some answers? Good to see that many people are answering as no. Good. So I think today we have very empowered audience in this session. Good to know. Good to see these many answers. Thanks for the participation. Yes, you're right. This is not a right formula, because in this formula, if you see, our priority is spending first. Later comes your savings. Whenever you give priority to something like spending, your saving can never be your priority. So then what is the right way? So for the people who said yes, for them, this is the answer. Income minus investments is equal to expenses. So a small tweak in the formula, but it gives you a real sense of financial freedom once you start implementing this in your day-to-day life. In this formula, if you see, after earning whatever money you wanted to save for your future responsibilities, allocating some money from your earnings into the future investments, then whatever is left out was we were using it for spending. This is a right way to attain financial independence. Believe me, this one takeaway will be enough from the entire session to lead a financial freedom, to get financial independence. So let us quickly see. We also have, after knowing these formulas, or before knowing this formula, we have many reasons for not investing, right? Could be, we may hear, or we may say that I'm too young to start saving money. and investments are very complex. I'm not an MBA or a finance graduate to start investing my money. And I think my business is going to give me more money than any other investments. Or sometimes we may say that my father or my spouse used to take financial decisions. So I'm not ready to start investing. And last but not least, sometimes we hear a scary answer called, I don't have time. So when you don't find time to manage your future or to save for your future, definitely you have to rethink what are you earning and why are you earning, and for what purpose you are leading your journey. And why should we invest? From this slide, you're going to know the basic hurdles in investments and the basic important secrets one need to know while achieving the financial freedom. One such thing is inflation. So most of us know what is inflation, and I'm not going to be telling you basics of inflation. I'm just going to tell you how it is going to affect our day-to-day financial life. Say, if you have 10,000 rupees today and you are not investing anywhere, you have just kept it in your almana, like I said in the initial session, the example of Ramesh. So if let us assume that Ramesh have 10,000 rupees today and he kept this in his almara. After 5 years, if you go there, go to the almara and see what is going to happen to his money. Do you think that money is going to increase, or do you think the money is going to decrease? No, right? Money is going to be the same money or the same notes even after 5 years or 10 years. But remember, the value of the money is going to come down. That is because of inflation. This is a silent evil which will eat your purchasing power. So maybe it won't pinch you for a 5-year case. If you see it in a 10-year case, the value of your money is getting depreciated by, it is getting decreased by 50% if the average inflation is at 7%, which means from today onwards, whenever you're starting an investment journey or whenever you want to consider some financial product, ask yourself, what am I going to earn if I deduct inflation from the return? Let me give you an example. You wanted to choose a fixed deposit and it is giving us some 7% or a 6% return, where you have taken a 1-year fixed deposit, and for the last 1 year, the inflation was at 7%. So your rupees increasing, like your rupees appreciating by 7%, and because of inflation, the value of your rupee is getting decreased by 7%, which means there is a 1% net margin, minus 1% is the real value you're really making from that investment, which means by keeping money in your fixed deposit, if it is not delivering or beating the inflation or giving over and above the inflation return, you're not really making anything from that transaction. So from this moment onwards, just try to ask yourself, what am I going to earn after inflation from that product? This should be your second key takeaway from today's session. And let me tell you, if you take the same inflation in our day-to-day life or in financial goals, if we consider, say, let's see, if our household expenses in 2010 are 20,000 rupees, and in 2020 at 8% inflation. In the earlier slide, I have taken the average RBI inflation rate, but in this slide, I have taken the inflation, lifestyle inflation into consideration because we are calculating the household expenses. So at 8% inflation after 2020, your 20,000 is going to become 35,000, which means if you're comfortable with 20,000 rupees 10 years back, today you need to have at least 35,000 rupees in order to meet a similar kind of lifestyle. Same way, if you take after 10 more years, after 10 years, the same 35,000 is going to cost you 75,000 rupees. That's why I'm telling you, inflation is a silent killer. You have to earn more than your inflation, then only you can meet your future financial life. You can meet your financial responsibilities. If you take the higher education case, in 2010, an MBA from a premium IIM institute costed us 6 lakh rupees. And the same MBA, 1 year back, it costed 23 lakh rupees. And do you think it is going to cost you just double after 10 more years? No, you're wrong. It will cost you 50 lakh rupees, which means in 20 years, almost the cost of the education in the premium institutes have gone up by 5 times. Believe me, this is just the past example. If you take the real life examples in many other premium institutes today, the inflation rate is over and above 14% and 15%. So if you're not prepared, if you're not ready for this, make sure you understand how inflation is going to affect your finances in future. And let's see if we check with marriage cost. A 6 to 7 lakh rupee expenses in 2010, it is costing us 26 to 30 lakh rupees in 2020. Say if you're having a kid who is 4-year-old, 5-year-old or 6-year-old, and you're assuming that he or she should get married by 25 or 26, see how much is going to cost you for the marriage as well. Maybe you might think, gone are the days, my children are not going to spend much money on the marriage. They are not going to waste money on marriage. So most important thing you have to understand here is children are not always interested in spending money on the marriage. It is we, the parents, we impose our own thoughts and aspirations on children. So make sure that you are ready to meet these expenses. And one more important thing I'm going to tell you today is this should be your other key takeaway. So let me ask you a quick question. So most of you are hearing few things for the first time, and some of you might be hearing for the it could be the second time or third time. But believe me, few important things should be recollected once in a while, so that we will not commit the mistakes which we generally does. So if you really think you're enjoying this session and you really wanted to make us help the people in educating financial literacy, we are giving this session on Facebook as well. My colleague is going to post you the Facebook live link on the chat box. Kindly click the link and share the video so that your people in your network can also understand and learn few things which you are learning today. And this is going to help us as well, and you are going to help your near and dear people to understand the basics of money management. Pradeep, could you help me in posting the link in the chat box?
It's done from my end.
Okay. So if you think really that there is a value addition from this session, please click the link and share the video, and it will help your near and dears to understand or learn basics of money management. So with that, let us proceed further. Today, we are going to learn one more important thing called Rule 72. We also call it as a doubling period formula, or we also call it as a thumb rule 72. This is one interesting key takeaway you can have from the session. What is it going to give us? It is simple. Many of us might have questions, right? If I keep my money in bank fixed deposit, how much time it will take to get double? If I keep the same money in post office, how much money it is going to need for getting it double? Like you have this question many number of times, but we always get confused and we don't really understand what is the math behind it. Today, we're going to burst that myth, or we are going to burst that basic inhibition. Rule 72 says if you keep 10,000 rupees in your bank fixed deposit, and if your bank fixed deposit is giving you 6% interest rate, you have to do 72 divided by 6, which gives you 12 as an answer, right? Which means if you choose a product which is giving you 6% interest rate, it will take 12 years time to double your money. In the same way, if you keep your money in bank fixed deposit, I think today in most of the bank, the fixed deposit interest rate is nearly 4 to 5%. If you think it is not 4 to 5%, it can be 5 to 6%. Let us see, if it is giving you a 4% return, you need 18 years time to double your money. Seriously, might be it is for few people it might be shock, for few people it's an eye opener. Yes, you're hearing right. Your money need to work a lot for you if you keep in a low return generating product, which means if you choose a product which can give you a 12% return, the same 10,000 rupee can become 20,000 in just 6 years time. So from today onwards, whenever you think of investing in any product, make sure that whether it is giving over and above inflation rate or not, and how much time it required to multiply your money. So with that, we are going to learn the new wonder called eighth wonder of the world. What is that? We heard till now there are only 7 wonders in the world. What is this eighth wonder? Yes, you guessed it right. It is compound interest. Why Albert Einstein called compound interest as an eighth wonder? Because this is the reason. Sorry. If you have 1 rupee and you have invested that 1 rupee in 15% return generating product, which means if you consider the earlier formula 72 thumb rule, which it states if a product which is giving you 15% return, it needs 4.8 years time to multiply to double your 1 rupee. So I have taken here, it has an average of 5 years. So 1 rupee can become 2 rupees in 5 years if it is able to give you 15%. Likewise, in next 5 years, it is going to again get doubled. In next 5 years, again, it is going to get doubled. In the similar way, if you see 1 rupee invested today can become 64 rupees in 30 years time. Same, if you invest 1 lakh rupee in a product which is giving you 15% return, it is going to become 64 lakh rupees in 30 years time. So does it making sense? Yes, right? What you have done to multiply your money by 64 times in 30 years? Nothing. You have chosen a right vehicle and you have stayed invested. Every one of us might have question in our mind. So to make more money, you need to invest more money, right? No, it's a myth. To make more money, you need to invest more time besides money. So from now onward, you have to realize that time is also a money. So in what way it is going to benefit us if we start early, that I'm going to tell you, discuss in coming slides. Believe me, this is why Albert Einstein named it as eighth wonder of the world. If the same investment, if you can continue for 5 more years, your 1 lakh is going to become 1.2 crore. 1 lakh investment invested today, after 35 years, it is going to become 1.28 crore, whether you believe it or not. Immediately you'll get a question in your mind. So what are you saying? I should invest today and I should leave it for 35 years. What am I going to get from this? After 35 years, if it is becoming 1 crore or 2 crore, is it really going to help me? Maybe. It may not be helping you, but believe me, this simple financial decision is definitely going to help your successors, your next generation, to take right financial decisions. We are here today because of all the actions and because of all these studies we made and we had and we worked, right? Likewise, if this example was known to you when you are 2-year-old or 3-year-old to your father or your mother, if they might have invested 10,000 rupees for you, today you might have 12 lakh rupees. Do you really think that 12 lakhs is not a big amount? Maybe for everyone it may not be a big amount, but if you think it's a big amount, at least you should realize now, and at least you should start investing money for long run, keeping your successes in mind. Okay. And one important thing I want to tell you to add in the earlier slide is, in the 30 years journey, your 1 lakh has become 64 lakh rupees, right? And in the next 5-year journey, your 64 has become 1 crore 28 lakhs, which means if you delay it by 5 years, instead of starting your investment journey today, you have started your investment journey after 5 years, you're losing your wealth by 50%. So you should realize that by now that time is money. Starting early is the key in successful investment journey. So I'll not again repeat the slide. So let me tell you what ways to create wealth. You might think this is known to everyone, right? Yes, you might know this, but let me explain you in our language. Every one of us know what is an active income. So if we work, we earn money, right? That is active income. If your active income start working for you, then it will create a passive income. Like what I mean? Nothing. Whatever investment you are doing today is going to help you build a great wealth in times of whenever you need it in future. This passive income is going to help you a lot. So one important quote we should recollect today and now is, You do not need to be wealthy to be an investor. But remember, you need to be an investor to become wealthy. So let us convert that into our language. You need not to be a lakpati or a karodpati to be an investor, but you need to be an investor to become a lakpati or karodpati. Here we are going to learn the scientific way of becoming successful in investing. And believe me, till now, whatever we learned is a different aspect. And from now, we are going to learn whatever I'm going to teach you is a different world. These 3 slides, which I'm going to tell you now, if you could understand this and if you could implement this, believe me, 50% of your financial independence will be done. If you start implementing, if you start learning this now. If you don't have your financial diary, at least by now, at least start taking the pics of this slide. Definitely these are going to help you a lot for your future reference. So what is that financial formula or a scientific way to achieve your financial success keys? There are 3 steps involved in it. 1, starting early. Second one, choosing a right investment vehicle. And last but not least, you have to be disciplined. You have to be invest or save regularly, which leads you financial achievement or financial freedom or financial independence. Let's quickly see what is this, why I need to start early. As I've already shared you, starting early will definitely have a huge impact in the wealth creation. Again, let me, for the benefit of reminding people who didn't understand why they need to start early, let me give you an example of 2 friends. Here are Mr. Late and Mr. Early. These 2 are friends. When they were in their college, they had a session on financial freedom or financial independence by their professor, and they realized that they should start investing their money immediately after their college. Why? Because they also know that their parents, because of lack of the financial knowledge, they have not taken the decision of investing too early. So they thought they should start investing immediately after their college days. So obviously, if you compare two friends of ours, one will be proactive, one will be reactive, right? So here the same situation happened. The person who is proactive, Mr. Early, he started investing towards his retirement from 25th year onwards, and he started a very significant amount of 10,000 rupees a month. Since they thought of saving it for retirement, they have 35 years time, which led them to invest 42 lakh rupees in this 35 years journey. Whereas Mr. Late, like me, so who generally postpone things, and once we postpone things, we never know when do we again revoke it or restart it. So days have passed, decades have passed. So I've realized that early have starting early. So I'm late. So let me start in a big way. So Mr. Late started saving 25,000 rupees a month. But remember, though he was able to save 25,000 rupees a month, he's left out with only 15 years time. Still, he could able to save 45 lakh rupees. But see what Mr. Early made and what Mr. Late have made. Mr. Early made 11.5 crore with his 42 lakh investment, whereas Mr. Late, though he invested more than Mr. Early, he just made 1.5 crore. At least by now, you should realize starting early is key to a successful financial journey. So this is mantra number 1. And let's see mantra number 2. So starting early is key, right? But what kind of vehicle you have selected for continuing this journey is also equally important. Let me give you an example to make you understand this in a simple way. You wanted to go to a city which is near to your town. Maybe it is 50 kilometers away from your city. You wanted to visit that place. For that, you wanted to go by walk, and your friend wanted to go by bicycle, and your relative wanted to go by bike. Who's going to reach the destination fast? Obviously the person who have used the bike, right? So starting early is important, but choosing the right product or right vehicle to reach that destination is equally important. If you see here, I've mentioned you, I've shared you 2 graphs here. One graph shows what are the prominent financial products in our country has delivered in last 40 years time. This is a 40 years data. Na? I'm not just giving you the numbers. This is real authentic data where you can search anywhere in Google. So what it says, in the last 40 years, the average inflation was 5.6%. If you see two bars here under this product called gold, you can see this red bar and a blue bar, right? Red bar have represented the actual return made by the product. But today we are going to learn one more important point called real gain. We can also call this a real return. Simple, yeah. I've already told you what is this real return, but I'm repeating this for the benefit of all the audience. Real return is the return where after deducting your inflation, whatever money is left or whatever return is left is called real return. So the real return made by this gold investment is 3%. If you see that in bank fixed deposit, the average rate of interest given by bank fixed deposit in 40 years is 8.2%. After deducting inflation, the real value it created is just 2.5%. If you compare it with the equity, nothing but Sensex, which has become more dearer in last 2 years. So Sensex has delivered 14.5% in the last 40 years. Whereas after inflation, this is the real gain which was made by the equity. If you compare this with an investment of 1,000 rupees, say 40 years back, someone have invested 1,000 rupees in all these financial products. It's a single 1,000 rupees deposit. No? It is not a monthly investment. So 1,000 has become 28,600 in 40 years in gold, and 1,000 has become 23,700 in fixed deposit, and 1,000 has become 2.2 lakh in the same 40 years in equity. And again, I'm reminding you the disclaimer, we are not promoting and we don't want you to invest in direct stocks, and we are not promoting you to invest into stock market with this example. It is just for the purpose of education. I'm telling you, you should know while investing, you should realize for what reasons or for what purpose you have started this investment journey. And according to the investment journey, only you have to start picking the financial product. So any questions till now? If you have any questions, you can use the chat box, or else I'll continue further. Are there any questions?
Till now, I didn't receive it.
Fine. Okay, fine then. Let me take you to the third mantra or third formula in this success. The first one we learned, starting early is the key. The second mantra we learned, investing in a right financial product is also most important. And third, investing in on a regular basis is key. You might say that I'll invest as and when I have money. Or you can say that I'll invest once in a year. Or you can say that I'll invest once in 3 years. Yes, you have the flexibility of investing whenever you want. But remember, if you want to achieve a gigantic target, or if you want to achieve a big financial target, you have to be disciplined. Let me give you an example to make it more simple. You wanted to reduce your weight by 15-20 kgs in another 6 months time. What are we going to do? We are going to become more conscious while having your diet, and we are going to visit gym for doing regular activities, right? We are going to do this, right? So if you visit your gym on a regular basis, were you able to reduce the weight? Or if you visit the gym once in a week or once in a month, or if you become conscious once in a week while having your food, you'll reduce your weight. It's a known thing, right? If you're conscious on every day, if you consciously spend every day, if you consciously save every day, you're going to achieve this success. Yes, you're right. Discipline is the key in the investment journey. Whether you start it in a big way or a small way, discipline is the key. So let's see. This could be a most dearer question for most of you. Friends, like we were almost at the end of the session. We just have 10 more minutes. I need just 10 more minutes time. People who have any questions, kindly park them. We are going to address them. So let's proceed. What is the biggest risk in investing? Can someone answer in the chat box? According to you, what is the biggest risk in investing? Is that the market? Is that not knowing the right product? What is that actually, according to you? Can you see the answers? So I have got one answer, many questions, fluctuations, stocks, losses. Good. Great participation. Selecting the right fund. Probably the answers which you're giving is, I think it is out of your experiences. I could able to see that. Thanks for participation. So let me tell you what is the biggest risk in investing. It is maybe whatever you have said are also a part of risks in investing, but the biggest risk I'm asking is, let me tell you what is that biggest risk. Before that, let me give you this example. We have an investor who wanted to start a retirement journey, and might be he was at 30 year or 35 age, and he want to create a corpus of 5 crores for his retirement. So let me tell you this example. A person who is starting his retirement journey at 35, he is left out with only 24 more years to start this journey. If he have selected a product which is giving him 10% return on an annualized basis, he has to save 37,372 rupees a month for the next 25 years so that he can achieve the target of 5 crores. If the same person delay it by 5 more years for the same target of 5 crores, he has to save almost 65,000 rupees. Just by delaying 5 years, one need to save additional 30,000 rupees for the next 20 years time. So the real risk is not the markets, not the product, not the returns. It is time. Most of us always try to time the market. Is this a good time to invest or not? Seems like market is all-time high. Is this a good time for me to enter now? So believe me, if you are having a medium to long-term goals, any time is a good time to start your investment journey. But you have to be a little cautious while entering the journey, which can be taken care by your financial advisor or your mutual fund distributor while onboarding you towards your long-term investment journey. So remember, delay cost is more dearer than anything else. So let me tell you how to start our financial journey, or how one can start the financial journey. I'll take you quickly to the slide. So most of us have dreams, right? Buying a home, buying a car, going on a foreign vacation, or making our child dreams come true, or having a peaceful retirement, or having a vacation once in a year. All of these are dreams, right? And believe me, having dreams is not at all a mistake, or is nothing wrong in dreaming. But if you don't have time targets for these dreams, if your dreams are not time bound, these cannot become your goals. If your dreams are not becoming your goals, then you can never ever achieve these dreams. So what can be your financial dreams? It can be your child education, it can be your children's marriage, or it can be your retirement, or it can be your home purchase, or it can be your vacation. Any dream is possible if provided you have a proper time frame or a proper target. So from today onwards, as and when you have something in your mind, you wanted to do this, keep it on a paper and sit with your spouse and discuss with them that you wanted to do this. After discussing with them, with her or him, make a note of it and consult your advisor so that he'll give you a roadmap for achieving it. Right? So you need to always check whether you're financially prepared to fulfill your dreams or not. So for that, your advisor is going to help you. So we are almost at the end of the session. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to close the session. So thank you for everyone who are patiently listening to us. And we strongly believe that there is some value addition from this session till now. So the first and foremost important step while starting your financial journey is having an emergency fund. This pandemic has made us realize that whoever we are and whatever job position we are into and whichever the great company we are in, uncertainties can strike us or it can bang us in any way, and it is going to hurt anyone at any time in any way. So for that, you need to be prepared in having a right emergency fund. Today, I'm not going to tell you what is an emergency fund and how an emergency fund can be planned, because we have already did a session last month, 15 days back, which is already live in our Facebook page. If you wanted to know what is an emergency fund and how one can be prepared for this emergency fund, you can visit our Facebook page and you can watch this video, which is recorded there. And for the benefit of the other people, one who is into a stable job, at least he should have 6 months of his expenses as an emergency fund. If the same person he is into an unstable job and unstable income stream, he need to have at least 10 to 12 months of his expenses as an emergency fund. And there were many other factors as well to consider for creating an emergency fund. So let me quickly tell you, in our system, as I said, like we are in a mission of educating people on financial literacy, and we want people to become have a stress-free financial life through our scientific money management process. I'm just going to give you what are the process which we are going to use in our company, and how are we going to onboard our customers while with our process. Let me give you a quick example. Here, this is a need analysis report of one of our customer. We have taken the permission from this customer, and so that we were able to use his example in public forum. So we have a client by name Mr. Ravi. He's 32-year age and he was blessed with 2 kids. He's having his son who is at 5 years, and his son's name is Anil, and he's having his daughter who is 1 year old, and her name is Sweetie. So when he reached us, and his first important question is, how should I start my investment journey? And after having a good amount of discussion with him, we told him this can be one possible way where you can think to start that investment journey. So this is a simple financial analysis which is going to cover about your kids' education, your kids' marriage, and your retirement. And we believe these are the 3 most important certainties one need to attain or one need to understand. So let me give you that example. Anil, who is at 5, wanted to have 10 lakh rupees for his son's higher education. These are all today's cost. I'm going to show you how much it is going to cost him when his son reaches 18 or when his daughter reaches 18. So he's at 5 and he want his son, usually the higher education would be 18 years, right? And the marriage age would be 25 years. And he want his son to get married by 25. And for that, according to his current financial position, he wanted to have 10 lakh rupees for his son's marriage. Likewise, even for her daughter also, he took the same assumptions. And another important assumption is he want to get retired by 60. For that, we have asked him what is his current monthly household expenses. And he said it is 25,000 rupees roughly, and he can manage comfortably with his 25,000 rupees. And when someone asks you what are your monthly household expenses, please do not add your EMIs. So with few more assumptions, I've taken it forward. Anil, who is at 5, is having 13 more years time to reach this higher education age. And at 6% inflation, it is going to cost Mr. Ravi 21.5 lakh rupees. Till now, if he have not started his investment journey, he has to start 6,000 rupees a month for next 13 years, or he has to invest almost 5 lakh rupees today in a product which is going to give him 12% rate of return, so that he can achieve the target of this amount. Likewise, even for his daughter, the same 10 lakh which is going to cost him today is going to cost him 27 lakh rupees after 17 years. So for that, he is again having two options. Either 4,000 a month can be is possible to make him achieve this target, or a 4 lakh rupees investment can also be possible to reach this target. Another most important target is his retirement. A 25,000 rupees lifestyle after 28 years, since he's 32 and he want to retire at 60, we are left with only 28 years time. So after 28 years, today's 25,000 rupees lifestyle is going to cost him 1.28 lakhs, whether you believe it or not. So for that, he need a retirement corpus of 2.2 crore. So to achieve this 2.2 crore retirement corpus, he have again two options. Either he can start a 9,000 rupees per month investment, or a 9 lakh rupees a deposit, which can give him 12% return, can make it possible. So this is called retirement corpus. This is also called as retirement kitty. If Ravi wanted to have a peaceful retirement life, he need to have a corpus of 2.2 crore. If he can create this 2.2 crore in 28 years, he can take a peaceful pension of 1.27 lakh for at least next 15 years of his life. But believe me, just this is it for education purpose only. Please don't take these numbers as a standalone numbers and don't relate to yourself. So please sit with your advisor